Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. John Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for checking out today's video. I always appreciate the support. All right, let's get into it. So, the Golden State Warriors are in a very interesting position. Most of the time, when teams have the number 2 overall pick in a draft, that means they weren't very good or they're kind of in a rebuild. But for the Warriors, this past season, they just had a lot of injuries, and losing KD, they just lost basically all their momentum from their 5-year period of making it to the finals, winning 3 championships in between there. And so they returned their main core of Clay, Dre, and Steph. They added Andrew Wiggins at the trade deadline, and they still have Steve Kerr in the front office and Eric Pascal, who broke out for first-team All-Rookie. So they're in a very peculiar situation of what to do with the number 2 overall pick. And the draft class, that's not just super great. Should they trade it? Should they keep it? If they keep it, who should they draft? Should they trade down? They've got a lot of options. So today, I'm going to go over what should the Warriors do with the number 2 overall pick. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get into it. All right, let me just start off by saying that the Warriors are going to be super good again next year. And then they've lost KD, and I know Steph and Clay both had injuries, and Draymond obviously is not the same player he was a couple years ago. But when you still have Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, that core, they're still going to be super good. And I think Andrew Wiggins is going to be a really nice complementary piece. His defense was better. His shooting percentages went up. He averaged like 20, during kind of the end of the stretch or whatever. And then, still Steve Kerr, who's one of the best coaches in the game. Guys got like Eric Pascal, who's first-team All-Rookie, Marquise Chris, Kai Bowman, guys that are going to make up a really good young core for the Warriors to have and stuff like that. So they're just going to be good. Now, obviously, it's the Warriors. They never settle. They're always trying to get better. I mean, after they went 73-9, they added Kevin Durant, so, they're never satisfied with their current roster construction. So they have this number 2 overall pick, which could lead to a lot of different options, and I'm going to just kind of go down the right side of the screen, and we're just going to go over it. So I think ideally the Warriors would like to flip the number 2 overall pick for someone like Giannis or Joel Embiid. I mean, obviously, in an ideal world, the Warriors would do this in a heartbeat, but I really don't feel like a trade package of Andrew Wiggins, the number 2 overall pick, and a first-round pick next year is good enough to get Giannis or Joel Embiid, unless one of them absolutely just demands a trade. But I definitely don't think that's a good enough package to get Giannis. The only reason that might be a good enough package to get Joel Embiid is because the Sixers are kind of out of crosshairs. Do they build around Ben Simmons? Do they build around Joel Embiid? Because obviously them together is not working just because, they both need a lot of floor spacing and neither one of them provide that for the other. So I think maybe they could get Joel Embiid for that package, but if I'm the Sixers, I can definitely get a better package, so I would not take that. And so I really don't think that they're going to be able to add a big star this year. Maybe in 2021 free agency, they can definitely shuffle around, create a max slot. They could definitely do that. But as far as this offseason with this number 2 overall pick, I think their best option is in the draft. I think if they stayed at number 2, I think if they drafted anyone but James Wiseman, I think that would just be kind of dumb. Because he's kind of a position of need. They've got great guard play, so they don't need a guy like LaMelo Ball or Anthony Edwards or any of those other guards in the draft. James Wiseman, he's not going to come in and just completely transform the team. They're still going to be ball movement heavy and, Steph and Clay shooting the ball. But James Wiseman could provide a nice rim protection. He could rim run, an athletic dude. And, he would not have to come in and be your savior or anything like that. James Wiseman has some motor questions, so that may be something that the Warriors can get out of him. They kind of did it with Andrew Wiggins down the stretch last year, so I think they could definitely do it with James Wiseman. He's super talented, big, athletic, shot blocking potential, dominant in the paint, so I think he could fit well and be a good, nice complementary piece for them. But honestly, their best option is to trade back a few picks and then get a role player out of whatever team they trade back with. And then, so if they trade it back into like the 6, 7, 8 range, they could still get Onyeka Ogwande. I totally butchered that. I really don't know how to say his name. But I know he's the dude from USC, and he's from Chino Hill, so he played with the Ball brothers. and he can basically do similar things that James Wiseman can do. Uh, Protect the rim, rebound, um, catch lobs and stuff like that. He doesn't need the ball to be productive. Most of his points come off of someone passing to him and him just finishing at the rim or whatever. But he doesn't have motor questions. He plays hard every day, every game, and he's got a little more defensive versatility as far as being able to switch out onto the perimeter. So he might be able to play in their small ball death lineup, whatever that new version of that lineup is. He could slide nicely in there. And then if you traded back with one of those teams, you could get a really nice complementary role player, maybe a guy like Drew Holiday. I really don't know what pick the Pelicans have, though. But if they could get Drew Holiday, that would be so excellent. But if they got a guy like Derrick Rose from the Pistons, who's still a beast offensively, and he could come off the bench and bolster the bench. Other guys, maybe like John Collins from the Hawks. I don't know if the Hawks really know what to do with John Collins. And maybe Devontae Murray from the Spurs, a defensive monster at point guard. That guys like Sean Livingston and Andre Iguodala help them coming off the bench, just being able to bolster them defensively and stuff like that. So I think their best route would be to trade back, get a really nice complimentary role player in their mid-level exception area of like $17 million. So then that way, they stay under. They're already paying luxury tax, but they don't have to exceed that number even more. And they get someone like Anakwe that can do the same things that James Wiseman can do, except they add another complimentary role player. So thank you for checking out today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Check out all the link content on the screen and in the description. You have a great day.